it's always a mess. It's always like takes me forever to get it all lined out and exactly figure out what she wants, whatever. And then this last time she's like, I'm sending things to the Discovery Center in blah, 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 and they want this specific stuff on there. So we just need like 20 labels with just this stuff on there. So I charged her $25 for a setup charge. And she paid it no problem that time. Well, they came back and said, we want to see the logo before you send the stuff, or send see the label. And she never asked me to send it before, so she had made the decision on what was going to work for them, and she never sent it on to them for them to review. Well, I had already made the label, sent back to Margaret, there was 44. So then now we're going to change it. So then I went through all these changes again. So I charged her $25 again. But I literally sat on email for 2 days. Not solid, of course, but I probably spent an hour to 2 hours making the changes and sending emails over the course of those days. Then I had to redo the labels and do a special mailing to get her the new label. She came back and she was mad about me charging her the $25. And I had to cool off for 3 days before I sent the email because I was like, okay, lady, you put me out 2 days worth of random emails and work and whatever, and then I didn't charge you what the actual cost to make.
The conference has been muted. The conference has been unmuted.
But just like include it underneath a setup charge and then list all those things that she said. Otherwise, they'll just like never listed.
Are you there, Sarah?
I am here.
Hi, Sarah. This is Tammy and Jan. She's here with me.
Hello.
Hi. We'll be getting started in just about 5 minutes.
Okay, just holler when you're ready.
Sounds good. Thank you.
This is, because if we were to do a press release about something, you've got 3 or 4 paragraphs that you need to, it's not a press release format, but it is good. Hi, I'm David. I'd like to introduce you to Scrap. We're a nonprofit, and I'm asking you for your help. Okay, so it's a good one-page format. This was our last theme.
That's what we gave out.
It's what we gave out. So as you're magically creating these things and thinking about how to present it, think about where we can utilize 3/4 of the page to describe our story, whatever it is. and try to keep the logos so they fit in the puzzle. But then we can tell them the story because our story is huge. And as you see through that other thing, there's a lot of things about it that there's just going to be time that we're going to need to write a lot of story or instructions or dates and times and things. So trying to get the scrap logo on the box and who we're representing, like the blankets and bears, we can control beyond the box and scrap and how you set it up. But we can't always control the blanket and bears logo or the partner's logo. So we need to think of a way how we can blend the three together. So whatever they come up with, we can just plug them in.
I'm thinking.
Does that make sense?
So beyond the box and scrap are always going to be together with whatever other thing, right?
Yep.
So then those go up here, and maybe we have like this section here where it's. I'm kind of thinking like so you have the scrap logo here and the beyond the box over here. But then we have this one like large box that's like those are like the header.
The conference has been muted.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our summer webinar about creating a Mentor Monday event with impact. Thanks for your interest in Powerhouse Montana and Mentor Monday. Together, we create a community that supports economic opportunity for all Montana women. So just a reminder, if you can read these slides but can't hear the presentation, you'll need to join the conference call. The dial-in number and access code are right here on the slide, and I believe they're also in your meeting as well. And don't forget to press *6 to mute your line, and you can press *7 to unmute your line at the end when we're taking questions. Please mute your line if you have any background noise. And use the chat function to send us questions. We'll be taking those at the Q&A section at the end, but there will be an opportunity in the middle to kind of share your experiences and your ideas in the chat box. And this call is being recorded, so we can use it for future organizers, and so organizers who can't make the call will be able to view the webinar. So on this call, you'll hear two voices, Jen Yule, Program Director for the Women's Foundation of Montana, and myself, Sarah Korn, AmeriCorps Vista at the Women's Foundation of Montana. I've worked with some of you on Mentor Monday in the past, but my AmeriCorps year is coming to an end in the next month. So I'm passing this torch on to Jen, and she'll be the new Powerhouse contact, and her contact information will be available at the end of the presentation, as well as on Powerhouse Montana's website and the Women's Foundation of Montana's website. During this webinar, we will be talking about what is Mentor Monday and what benefits there are for you as an organizer. We'll also share some new resources available to you that we've been developing this year, and hopefully that makes it a lot easier for you. We'll also break down the event timeline, including what you'll need to do before, during, and after the event. We'll have the opportunity to brainstorm as a group using the chat feature about different ideas for topics, icebreakers, and activities, because the Mentor Monday community is another resource for you. And then finally, we'll go through some frequently asked questions and answer some other questions you may have. So Jen, do you want to talk about the Women's Foundation and Powerhouse Montana?
Sure. Thanks, Sarah, and thanks to everybody who's on the phone today. My name's Jen Yule. I'm the director of the Women's Foundation of Montana. And for those of you who don't know, the Women's Foundation is a statewide nonprofit organization. We're a component fund of the Montana Community Foundation, and our mission is economic independence for Montana women and a brighter future for girls. In pursuit of our mission, we have several different pieces of work that we do. One of them is that we do grant making, so we make grants to nonprofits across the state. Generally speaking, they are to programs that are serving women and girls, and especially programs that are really making an economic impact in the future of women and girls. So we fund wage negotiation workshops, STEM programming for girls, leadership programming for women and girls across the state, and we also fund policy change. So in addition to giving women and girls the tools they need to succeed, we're also interested in larger systemic change, and we do that by funding folks to work on policy change at a statewide level as well as working on it ourselves. I'm a member of the statewide Equal Pay for Equal Work Task Force, and that's one of the ways in which we pursue policy change for women. We also produce research that educates the policy change process. Some of the pieces that we have produced include our Status of Women in Montana report, which you can find on our website. And we also, of course, host Powerhouse Montana. And Powerhouse Montana is an online platform that connects women to mentors and the resources they need to succeed. And on your slide there, it talks a little bit more about that. You can check it out at PowerHouseMT.org. And on there, you'll see that it's kind of like a LinkedIn for Montana women and the men who support them. And we would love it if those of you who aren't currently members would join and also become an additional resource for Montana women. And of course, Mentor Monday MT is a sort of an in-person manifestation of Powerhouse Montana. And so in our conversations with women across the state, what we found is that oftentimes they felt like their biggest need was really to connect to folks who could help them to start businesses and find economic opportunities, and that's really what Powerhouse is about. And Mentor Mondays are really a way for people to do that in person right in their communities. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to Sarah, who's really our Powerhouse and Mentor Monday MT guru, to talk more about that.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. So one of the coolest things about Mentor Monday is that it's typically on the fourth Monday of the month, and typically, with a few exceptions, after work hours. So that means that dozens of women all over the state are meeting to help support each other and talk about issues that affect them in the workplace, all at the same time, which is pretty powerful, a pretty powerful movement we've got going on here. So why be an organizer? There's a couple different reasons. Not only is it great for your resume and helps you grow your network, but it helps establish yourself as a leader in your community, which is what we aim to have Powerhouse do, is to grow the next female leaders in Montana. So there are a couple new resources available to you as an organizer, which we'll go through now. First off is the Mentor Monday Organizers Lounge Facebook group, which you should join. Other Mentor Monday organizers are another group of people that you can tap into for help. If you have a question about Mentor Monday or Powerhouse, or just want to bounce around ideas, you can ask it in the group. When you organize a Mentor Monday, you are joining a community. And to give you an example of a resource and someone else that you can ask for some insight, I'm going to unmute And Heather Palermo, who is one of the organizers in Great Falls, is going to share an activity that they did at Mentor Monday a few months back that was really successful.
The conference has been unmuted.
Hi, everybody. This is Heather from Great Falls. I think one of the reasons we're doing this early is I have to run here in a few minutes. But I think what Sarah wanted me to talk about is the thing we did at our first Mentor Monday, which was a year ago. And it was actually run by Tiffany, who is down in Bozeman. And I helped her, but it was her idea, so I can't take credit for this. But when people came in, we had them take their business cards and write on there like what they were looking for and put them in a fishbowl. Is this the one you were talking about, Sarah?
I think so.
Okay. I just want to make sure. It's been a while. Put it in a fishbowl, and then we had people kind of look at the names, look at what people wanted, and start connecting in that way. I would like to say that we got a lot of momentum from it. We got a little bit. We did get some people saying, hey, I should talk to you more based on that. But it was a good way to kind of get people talking about why they were there and when they wanted to network.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather.
Oh, and then we also did it to do a little drawing. We had a bottle of wine that we gave away.
Yeah. Perfect. So that's an awesome idea and one that can be replicated in other communities. And our newest, biggest resource available to organizers is the Mentor Monday Organizer Guide, which is brand new, and the download link will be on the Powerhouse website this afternoon. And I believe we're going to link you to that page at the end of this webinar. But it's on the resources page on Powerhouse Montana. This guide has a bunch of kits for different Mentor Monday topics, including background on the topic, discussion questions, links to articles and videos, and sample activities. And it also covers a lot of the stuff we are going over in this webinar today. So hopefully it kind of takes out some of the guesswork for you and makes it easy to grab a topic and just run with it. So there are a couple of housekeeping details to keep in mind for your event, as well as some tips and tricks that might be helpful. So we'll just walk through what your event would look like from start to finish. So before the event, even though it's community run, in order for it to fit under the Powerhouse Montana umbrella, you would need to sign the organizer agreement. And everyone just make sure to mute your call real quick. And so the organizer agreement is pretty painless. It just lays out in what ways Powerhouse commits to helping you. Since we help promote the event, confirming the location with us by the 10th of the month is crucial so we can get the word out with enough lead time. And you can also use the Mentor Monday Organizers Lounge and the kits to help prepare your discussion, as well as invite your friends so they can kind of come support you and learn more about what Powerhouse is as well. At the start of the event, it helps to have name tags and have everyone introduce themselves, as well as leading with an introduction of yourself and Powerhouse Montana. Making sure that everyone has food or drinks and periodically checking to make sure everyone is comfortable is a good thing, especially because some of these conversations can get a little personal. For example, if someone's considering leaving a job they've held for a long time, but they don't want it to necessarily be public information, or it's still kind of a sensitive subject, you want to make sure everyone's happy in the moment and feels like they're supported. So your job as an organizer is about creating an experience that people get a lot out of and want to come back to. please take a moment either before or after the event to talk about Powerhouse Montana. There's a script in the organizer guide for you to use, and it's also very impactful if you use your personal experience with Powerhouse. So if you've reached out to someone through Powerhouse, or you've met someone at a Mentor Monday event, that's really been a great connection for you. Sharing that story helps give other people an idea of what really is possible with Powerhouse. So here are a few icebreaker question ideas that you can have the group answer. They're a little more in-depth than what's your favorite ice cream flavor, but they can really help set the tone for the conversation and can be related to the topic you're discussing. I use the first one quite a bit, and I found it to be really powerful, especially when it comes to paying it forward. People get a little teary-eyed sometimes, and it really drives the point home. So in the chat feature, let's just take a quick minute to share what's your favorite thought-provoking icebreaker. Don't be shy. I think it's at your bottom left of your screen. All right, well, while we're thinking on that. Oh, awesome, Tammy. Cool. What is something you want to share that no one knows? That's a really good one. It really gets to the crux of it pretty quick. How'd you get your name? That's awesome, Kelly. Everyone has a name, so everyone has an answer. Cool. Are you spring, summer, fall, or winter? Ooh, I like that one quite a bit. That can be interpreted a lot of different ways. How did you get your first job? How did your first job help you get where you are now? Stress management, how you manage your stress. Thank you, Jane. Awesome. Well, moving on to the next one. The event can also take many different formats. For example, in Bozeman a few months ago, Elixir had a panel of influential women in the community speak. Kalispell sometimes likes to have a main speaker and then breakouts. Some of the smaller events, however, tend to just be kind of roundtable discussions. So let's take another minute for those of us who have attended a Mentor Monday to share in the chat what you think the most impactful format was. Activities. I think that's probably a pretty good one for pretty much any size group. Since all of the events are pretty varied in size. I think panels are really cool because you can get multiple different speakers and multiple different perspectives and ask a bunch of questions and learn quite a few different things. Okay, so here's some more activity ideas. In the organizer guide, we have a Powerhouse bingo that's pretty fun. There's also some self-reflection worksheets that you could share or not share, whatever the group feels comfortable with. Speed networking has been a good one. And discussion table. So let's share again, what was your favorite Mentor Monday activity? basic networking. Good. I know Heather's fishbowl exercise, or Heather and Tiffany's fishbowl exercise, it's probably one of my favorite ones I've heard. Does anyone have anything else? Awesome. Speed networking, discussion based on your suggestions with some time to share best practices in that area, discussion tables. Great. It seems like we all kind of resonate with some of the same activities, and we all value that networking time during the event. So now we're going to go through some frequently asked questions, just moving right along, and then you'll have some time to ask more questions at the end. Where are the events usually? The events are most often at a restaurant or a place where people can order their own drinks, but it doesn't have to be. This photo is at an event in Bozeman last August at Cork. There have been a few locations that have worked really well in each community, and you can use the local Facebook groups to learn more. For example, I know Brew House in Helena has been a really great location, and Montana West Economic Development in Kalispell has been very generous with their space. So there's a lot of different places that you can meet. You can also use this as an opportunity to bring new people into your business or your organization. Last November in Missoula, we had women come to WORD, Women's Opportunity and Resource Development, which is a local nonprofit, and it was cool to get to learn more about WORD and see their space and what they do. Do I buy food or drinks for the group? So that's pretty variable, though since the events are usually during the dinner hour, I recommend having some kind of appetizer, but it's not necessary. And this is where restaurants make it easy, where people can just order their own food, or you can order an appetizer for the table, whatever works for you and you're more comfortable with. You can also serve refreshments at a local spot that isn't a restaurant too. And you can ask local sponsors, local businesses to sponsor the event and donate food. There's been a lot of businesses that have come to us wanting to get involved, and this would be a great opportunity to integrate those, get those businesses involved with Mentor Monday. And how do I get people to show up? So the Women's Foundation will help promote. We make an Evite and a Facebook event that we send out to our list. And there are a couple other options, like submitting to your local newspaper, inviting your coworkers, asking your friends to come and bring a friend is a good one, and flyers. So the organizer guide will be linked on the Powerhouse Mentor Monday page later today. The link is right there. And feel free to sign up for a date to organize on Mentor Monday and join the Organizers Lounge community. A few communities have active committees that organize every month. So instead of a different person every month, the committee kind of joins forces and does it each time. So shoot us an email if you're interested in joining one of the committees, which are open to really anyone who is interested. So as we're finishing up, does anyone have any questions?
The conference has been unmuted.
All right. Well, if anyone doesn't have any questions, feel free to email Jen at that email address right there on your screen. You can also email me at Sarah, SARAH, at mtcf.org. But like I said, I'm almost done with my fifth year, so I will no longer be the Powerhouse contact after the end of July. Thank you all so much for tuning into this quick webinar and sharing your feedback, and I hope to get to work with many of you soon. And if there aren't any questions, we'll stop the recording, and have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.